and girls, from me, Henry, and Nipper. Now, if you like tonight's story, press the like button, hit the subscribe, and ring the bell. By doing this, you will be the first to know when I, Henry, releases my latest video. And don't forget, it costs you nothing to subscribe. Now, tonight's story is called The Travelling Musicians. It's the story of a group of animals who decide to turn musicians. So, are we all snuggled in? If so, we shall begin. Once upon a time, an honest farmer had once an ass that had been a faithful servant to him a great many years, but was now growing old and every day more and more unfit for work. His master therefore was tired of keeping him and began to think of putting an end to him. But the ass, who saw that some mischief was in mind in the wind, took himself slyly off and began to his journey towards the great city. For there, thought he, I may turn musician. After he had travelled a little way, he spied a dog lying by the roadside and panting, as if he was tired. What makes you pant so hard, my friend, said the ass. Alas, said the dog, my master was going to knock me on the head because I am old and weak and can no longer make myself useful to him in hunting. So I ran away. But what can I do to earn my livelihood? Hark ye, said the little ass. I'm going to the great city to turn a musician. Suppose you go with me and try what you can do the same way. The dog said he was willing, and they jogged on together. They had not gone far before they saw a cat sitting in the middle of the road and making a most rueful face. Pray, my good lady, said the ass, what's the matter with you? You look quite out of spirits. Ah, me, said the cat. How can one be in good spirit when one's life is in danger? Because I'm beginning to grow old and had rather lie on my ease for the fire than run about the house after mice. My mistress has told me, and I was going to drown me, and I thought I hadn't been lucky enough to get away from her. I don't know what would have happened. I am to live upon. I don't know what to do. Ooh, said the ass, by all means go with us to the great city. You are a good night singer and may make your fortune as a musician. The cat was pleased with this thought and joined the party. Soon afterwards, as they were passing a farmyard, they saw a cock perched upon a gate and screaming out with all his might and main. Bravo, said the ass, upon my word. You make a famous noise. Pray, what is it all about? Why, said the cock, I was just now saying that we should have fine weather for our washing day, and yet my mistress and the cook don't care for my pains, but threaten to cut off my head tomorrow and make me broth for my master and their guests that's coming on Sunday. Woo-hoo, heaven forbid, said the ass. Come with us, Master Chanticleer. It will be clear. If at any rate, then stay in here to have your head cut off. Besides, who knows, if we care to sing in tune, we may get some kind of concert. So come along with us with all my heart, said the cock. So they all four went on a jolly together. They could not, however, reach the city for the first day, so when night came upon them, they crept into the woods to sleep. The ass and the dog laid themselves down under a great tree, and the cat climbed up into the branches, whilst the cock, thinking that the higher he sat the safer he should be, flew up to the very top of the tree, and then, according to his custom, before he went to sleep, looked out to all sides of him to see that everything was well. In doing so, thus, he saw afar off something bright and shining, and called to his companions and said, "There must be a house no great way off, for I see a light." "If that be the case," said the ass, "we had better change our quarters, for our lodgings is not the best in the world. Besides," added the dog, "I should not be the worse for a bone or two, or a bit of meat." So they walked off together towards the spot where the Chanticleer had seen the light. And as they drew near, it became larger and brighter, till at last they came across a house in which a gang of robbers lived. The ass, being the tallest of the company, marched up to the window and peeped in. "Well, donkey," said Chanticleer, "what do you see?" "What do I see?" replied the ass. "Why, I see a table spread with all kinds of good things, and robbers sitting around it making merry." "That would be a noble lodging for us," said the cock. "Yes," said the ass, "if we could only get in." So they clustered together how they should contrive to get the robbers out, and at last they hit upon a plan. The ass placed himself upon the right hind leg, as his forefeet resting against the window. The dog got upon his back, and the cat scrambled up the dog's shoulder, and the cock flew up and sat upon the cat's head. When all were ready, a signal was given, and they began their music. The ass brayed, the dog barked, the cat meowed, and the cock screamed. And then they all broke through the window at once and came tumbling into the room, amongst the broken glass, with the most hideous clatter. The robbers, who had not been only frightened but terrified by this opening concert, had no doubt that some frightful hobgoblin had broken it upon them and scrambled away as fast as they could. The course was once clear. Our travellers soon sat down and dispatched what the robbers had left, with as much eagerness as if they had not expected to eat again for a month. As soon as they had satisfied themselves, they put out all the lights, and each one once more sought out a resting place for his own liking. The donkey laid himself down upon a heap of straw in the yard. The dog stretched upon a mat behind the door. The cat rolled himself up on the hearth, besides the warm ashes, and the cock perched upon a beam on top of the house, and as they were all rather tired with their journey, they soon fell asleep. But about midnight, when the robbers saw that afar that the lights were out, and that all was seemed quiet, they began to think that they too would be in a great hurry to run away, and one of them was much bolder than the rest, said, "I want to see what's going on." Finding everything still in, marched up to the kitchen, and he groped about till he found a match in order to light a candle, and then, spying the glittering fiery eyes of the cat, he mistook them for live coals, and held the match to them to light it. But the cat, not understanding this joke, sprang at his face and spat and scratched him. This frightened him dreadfully, and he ran towards the back door. But there the dog jumped up and bit him on the leg, and as he was crossing over the yard, the ass kicked him, and the cock, who had been awkward by the noise, crowed with all his might. At this the robber ran back as fast as he could to his comrades and told them how a horrid witch had got into the house and had spat at him, scratched his face with her long bony fingers, how a man with a knife in his hand had hidden himself behind the door and stabbed him in the leg, how a black monster stood in the yard and struck him with a club, and how the devil had set upon him from the top of the house and cried out, "Throw the rascal up here." After this, the robber never dared go back to the house. But the musicians were so pleased with their quarters that they took up their abode there, and there they are to this day, I dare say, at this very day. Well, children, wasn't that a lovely story? So, nighty-night, children. Nighty-night. Nighty-night.